to stand at this fence, watching as members of the Navy torched an aeroplane during their weekly fire drills.
The plane sat right in the middle.
They had no idea the spectacle was leaching dangerous chemicals known as PFAS into their water.
And if you get down the hill there at the street, that's where there's like a little creek. So
in 1990, my dad was diagnosed with cancer and passed away within like 30 days. The neighbor right next door here, he had passed away 3 months before my dad from a brain tumor. All of our 8 pets that we've had growing up all had cancerous tumors and died, every single one of them. So about 3 months after we buried my father, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Joanne's son developed a brain tumor at 6 years old.
There were 3 of us who grew up in Warminster on the same street within a few houses, and we each had children with the same type of brain tumor. You can imagine how gut-wrenching it was to comprehend the fact that my exposure may have actually caused my child's cancer.
The Department of Defense closed the base in 1997, but the pollution remains.
This is the runway. I mean, they would fly in and land this whole strip.
The activist organisation, the Environmental Working Group, estimates that 85,000 homes in the area have unsafe drinking water.
I find it ironic that the very entity whose job it is to protect the American people has actually given a lot of American people and their own military cancer and other diseases.
I feel for me and for my family and for this whole community, like we were poisoned without consent. You know, we were poisoned. It's the bottom line. We can sit here as Americans and our own federal government is poisoning us.
Well, hello again, everyone.
But US President Joe Biden has pledged to change things, promising access to safe drinking water for all and to hold polluters accountable. And he says he can create jobs while doing it.
That's why when people talk about climate, I think jobs. Within our climate response lies an extraordinary engine of job creation and economic opportunity, ready to be fired up.
Our chemistry.
One such business is sustainable chemistry startup Sudoc.
We've, in the last 6 months, created 10 jobs. I would imagine in the next year, we're going to create 50, 100 jobs. In the next 5 years, I would hope we create 1,000 jobs.
The company's developed a product which it says can replace and eliminate toxic chemicals in the environment.
It has the power of a super strong chemical like chlorine or quatrimonium, which are, great cleaners, but it disappears. So it doesn't stay around. And we have a very strong set of evidence that we do not disrupt the systems of human beings. But we're not just going to take our evidence. We're going through third-party testing.
That kind of innovation has come too late for Hope and Joanne, but their wish is that a president who says he wants to create a greener America will keep his promises and ban the chemicals which have marred so many lives. Kate Fisher, CNA, Warminster, Pennsylvania.
Singapore's water agency, PUB, will deploy autonomous drones to patrol 6 reservoirs. They will observe water quality and monitor water activities such as fishing and paddling. It's expected to free up 5,000 man-hours a year. Taking off from a pod, this drone at Marina is one of the first 2 that will start work from the end of this month. The other will be at McRitchie. Each weighs up to 17 kilos and can fly up to 60 meters high. From the control hub, one pilot can monitor and control up to 4 drones. The drones can analyze videos in near real time. They trigger alerts when they detect activities such as illegal fishing. They can also sense kayaks in and outside of permitted zones. They study water quality and identify aquatic plant overgrowth. PUB says no personal data like facial recognition will be collected. 4 more drones will be rolled out at Serangoon, Kranji, Lower Seletar and Lower Pierce later this year. PUB is tapping on ST Engineering's proprietary drone operating system. Eugenia is back in a moment with the Asia Business Update, including foreign lenders shoulder SoftBank's soaring rise in borrowing. And later, how frog skin and fish scales are being used to repair human bones.
Every day, the financial world goes through dramatic rise and falls. We'll track the biggest market movers and show you where the opportunities lie. Get the experts' take on the performance of key indices. Plus all the analysis to help you understand forces driving global economies. The daily business news you need, only on CNA. This segment is brought to you by Xeon Corporation.
He's just looking at us with his eyes wide open. Oh, it's so cute.
I'm Shushan, and in this series, I'll be tracking into hidden parts of Singapore.
Oh my God, treacherous.
To find out what's being done to save our biodiversity.
Every animal plays a significant role.
And if we're running out of time.
It seems that there is an uptrend in the number of roadkills.
It's in our nature. Video on demand on CNA.Asia.
This June, Asia's past, present and future comes together. Race to feed the world as scientists, farmers and entrepreneurs solve the impending food crisis. Journalist Yu Maraki unveils the transformation of Japan's social and political identity in Deciphering Japan, and relive the history of the Chinese Communist Party as it marks 100 years of existence. This June on CNA.
So little land with so many mouths to feed.
Land matters. The future is going to be really challenging.
Dan akhirnya dibuang seperti ini dengan mubazir sangat disayangkan sekali.
Ini adalah solusinya.
We can turn Singapore into a protein powerhouse overnight, but people don't understand what we're doing.
Women farmers are the solution for the food security problem.
Race to Feed the World, Monday on CNA.
They treat me like a slave.
तो एक के चलती हजारों आदमी भूखे मर जाते हैं।
मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं कहीं मम्मी को मैं बहुत बोलता रहा, मम्मी मुझे कुछ अच्छा पॉइजन दे दो कि मैं मर जाऊं।
Oh my God, they've been blasting the wrecks.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia. Have fun while breaking a sweat on your next visit to Gangnam. Enjoy the weightlessness of bungee fitness, or learn the health benefits of pole dancing. So don't miss the opportunity to feel the burn with the latest workout trends in Korea. Gangnam Insiders Picks, Sunday on CNA. This program is brought to you by the Gangnam-gu office.
In business news, global energy giants have suffered a big blow as climate activists and disgruntled shareholders succeed in efforts to reduce their carbon emissions. Company boards at Exxon and Chevron have caved in to dissident shareholders, while Royal Dutch Shell lost a landmark case. In the U.S., Exxon shareholders defied management to elect at least 2 new board members proposed by hedge fund Engine No. 1. The fund launched an activist campaign making climate change a central issue. It holds a stake in Exxon worth some $50 million. That's just a small fraction of Exxon's market cap today of nearly $250 billion. Over at Chevron, shareholders voted 61% in favor of a resolution calling for the company to cut its carbon emissions. The company said it would carefully consider the result. In the Netherlands, Green campaigners won a court battle in The Hague to force Shell to cut its carbon emissions by 45% in the next 10 years. The court also ruled that Shell is responsible for emissions from its customers and suppliers. Despite the big win by green activists against the oil majors, an expert we spoke to earlier says the success should not be a substitute for government action.
I think these are huge decisions on both sides of the Atlantic, huge events. If anything, the ones in the United States, I think, are more important because it shows that this immense groundswell of public support for more concerted action to deal